They're off in the Dubai duty-free Irish Derby with 3 of the first 4 home at Epsom clashing once again. 1.5 miles to go, and it is Adelaide River who takes them along at the end of the first furlong from San Antonio in the blue cap. Handy in third is Auguste Rodin, who's followed by Proud and Regal. Covent Garden next, then Spreewell with a couple of lengths to Up and Under alongside the grey white birch, and the back marker is Peking Opera. At the end of the first couple of furlongs, and the leader is Adelaide River, followed by stable companions San Antonio and Auguste Rodin, and fourth is Proud and Regal, and fifth is Covent Garden, with the final 4 Spreewell, Up and Under, White Birch and Peking Opera. Little has changed through these early stages. They've got just over 1 mile left to go, and it's Adelaide River and Shamie Heffernan by 2 lengths to San Antonio and Wayne Lorden. In third place is Auguste Rodin and Ryan Moore attempting the Epsom Curragh double. In fourth is Proud and Regal and Gavin Ryan. Next, as they make the run towards the 7 furlong point, is Covent Garden, Declan McDonagh on the inside of Spreewell, and Shane Foley as they climb up towards the halfway stage. After Spreewell is Up and Under and Mikey Sheehy, followed by White Birch and Dylan Brown McMonigal, and lastly Peking Opera and Tom Marcon. They've gone by halfway, and still little changes from first to last. It is Adelaide River by 3/4 of a length to San Antonio. In third, 1.5 lengths back is Auguste Rodin, followed by Proud and Regal, 2 lengths to Covent Garden. A place in front of Spreewell, followed at the top of the trek by Up and Under and then White Birch. Now, looming on the outside, poised is Auguste Rodin. In third is Covent Garden, who's picked up a bit of ground. Spreewell has come under pressure, and then Proud and Regal, they're in the straight. Less than 3 furlongs to go in the Dubai duty-free Irish Derby, and Auguste Rodin joins stable companion Adelaide River. These kick clear of Covent Garden. Spreewell Up and Under, Proud and Regal picking up. White Birch is last. It's Auguste Rodin who's having to battle here from Adelaide River. 4 lengths to in third place, Covent Garden. It's Auguste Rodin in front as they run up to the finish. It's an Irish Derby of firsts and landmarks for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. Auguste Rodin completes the double from Adelaide River and Covent Garden. A clean sweep for Ballydoyle, and then Peking Opera and Up and Under, Spreewell, Proud and Regal, and a long way off them was White Birch.
Auguste Rodin, 4 to 11 favourite wins. Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien, Adelaide River 33 to 1 second. Covent Garden 80 to 1 was third, and actually back in fourth was Peking Opera, which made it a 1-2-3-4 for Ballydoyle. San Antonio, the other runner in the race, sadly the race marred by a really nasty looking injury to the son of Dubai. Our thoughts very much to the connections of that horse. They were represented by Auguste Rodin, who has completed the Epsom Curragh double, following the likes of Galileo, High Chaparral, Camelot and Australia. A first win in the race for Ryan Moore, a 100th European Classic for Aidan O'Brien.
Well, the one missing part of Ryan Moore's CV has been completed. His first victory in the Dubai duty-free Irish Derby on the odds-on favourite Auguste Rodin. Ryan, just explain how you saw the race, how it all panned out for you.
I think there's plenty more gaps to fill on my CV. Look, it wasn't a straightforward race, unfortunately. Very, very windy today. We've got a big headwind down the back and a gale blowing behind us down the straight. And we went very steady the first half of the race. For me, my horse was always, I suppose the way to put it would be he was a gear too low. You know, I was in third gear down the back, and I would have liked to have been going on a stride. I was sort of going to angle out to come around Wayne, and then that went wrong, and I had to switch back in. And I think the horse in front was getting a very easy time, and I've had to go to him early. And my horse, he gets to the front, he tends to wait a bit, you know, and so a long way out, but I had to move because the leader was getting an easy time. And when you've got that tailwind behind you here, it's just, and we're on the inner track here. It's not as straightforward as a race course as people maybe think, you know, and I found that out a good few times, and maybe that's why I hadn't won it before. You get some different results here on that round course, especially when you get a win like today, and it's a proper win, as you've seen, you know. And but for me, the horse he's done what he's had to do today. He wasn't blowing, he didn't turn a hair, and I think there's plenty more to come. the form will look questionable, but the form at Epsom looked very good. And today, I think it's just circumstances probably conspired against him, but he still won.
So he didn't fundamentally feel any lesser horse today than he had done at Epsom, even though the circumstances were different.
He didn't have the opportunity to give me the feel he did at Epsom because the race was different and the course was different and the conditions were very different today. But I know there's plenty there, so I'm happy.
Do you think he is, having felt what you felt today, felt what you felt at Epsom, and your comments about what he does when he hits the front, do you feel he is a horse who really needs a strongly run mile and a half to be seen at his best?
He gets the mile and a half well, but I think he would be fine at 10. As I say to you, to me, we always felt like we were going too slow, which would indicate he'd be very comfortable coming back into it.
I'm just reflecting on, yes, your first Irish Derby, but Aidan O'Brien's 100th European Classic win. I'm not sure how we get our head around that.
No, I don't. Look, Aidan would tell you that it's everyone else, and it is. It's such a big team effort, and obviously there's so many people that he'd always thanks. And but there's a reason why he's got these records, and I'm very lucky to have rode for him for as long as I am, and gets to, put me on these horses that are capable of winning these races. So it's just been, very grateful to be people I'm working for.
I mean, you must have been asked this a lot, but if you could try and just sum up a little bit of what he's got that others don't have, how would you do that?
I don't. I have a good idea, but he is seriously driven, and he wants the best the whole time, and the amount of work he does is quite incredible. People, they'll say the words geniuses and attention to detail. There's that, but there's also another layer which I'm fortunate to see.
I think I know what you mean. It's like if somebody described you as a competitive person, you are a very competitive person, but do you mean there's something more kind of raw, and you just don't see it in many people?
Probably a lot of people wouldn't understand it.
Yeah. No, I think I know what you're saying. And for you to get the first win in this race, I know you say there's lots of gaps in your CV. This is an important one to fill, isn't it?
Yeah, no, look, I've come here a long time, and a lot of disappointments in this race. And Aidan said to me, Mick never won his first one until he had Galileo, so maybe we just need a good horse to get it done.
Well done, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yes, Aidan O'Brien has just landed his 15th Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby, and Ed, many congratulations, you're a 100 European Classic winner, well done.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. It's incredible, really, and it's due to a lot of hard work. With this horse, it's Wayne who rides him in all his work. Rachel rides him out every day. Andrew's in charge of him. Davey led him up. But it's obviously John and Sue, Michael and Doreen Gay, and Derek, Peter and Stephanie, and George and Emily. Now they make it happen. They put in so much every year. It's great teamwork, and it's pure teamwork, Kevin. And there's so many small teams within the big team, and they all come together, and that's how it happens. And everyone is playing them small little parts, but then when everyone blends together, so we feel so grateful to have such horses to train for, such great people, and working with such magic people. And it's day in, day out, and let's just let everyone know that we really appreciate it, because that's what makes it happen, really. You can have the horses and you can have the place and you can have everything, but if all the people are not there, it doesn't happen. So we really appreciate everybody, all the hard work they put in.
And great to have all the team here today as well, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. John and Sue is here, and haven't seen them racing in a long time, which is unbelievable. Michael and Derek and Paul and MV and all the family, all the Magna family, and all the Smiths and Tabors. They're all. It's incredible, really. It's a long time since Desert King. Kevin,
1997.
That's a long time. There've been a lot of horses under the bridge since then, and a lot of horses and a lot of things. Day in day out, a lot of things happen, and so. But it's we feel very great, and to be back here at this facility, and this is is one of the best, if not the best facility in the world now, with the track and the place and the climate and everything, and the people, the team here is just incredible, you know. So.
And Aidan, it was a messy race to say the least. We'll come to that in a moment. It was workmanlike fashion Auguste Rodin won today.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it probably didn't go right any part of the way. Probably in front the lads were in a gear too slow, and there was such a wind they didn't know whether they were coming or going. And you can see how that could happen. They were getting turned sideways going down the back, and then they turned in and the wind was gone. So Ryan felt he was just in 2 gears too low all the way, but he was there, and that was it. And then when the unfortunate incident happened with Wayne coming down the hill, Ryan was just starting to let him go, and he had to take him back again. So and then he turned into the straight, and he just said he was just on autopilot up the straight the whole way. He never really clicked in at all because he didn't know what was happening or did happen. But we did think that Seamus's horse and Wayne's horse had improved a lot from Epsom. We thought that none of the two of them acted, and we thought that they would act better here. But Ryan was very adamant, like he'd look workmanlike today, and that's the fact of it. But he said there's so much more in there. After the race, he wasn't even blown. So we look forward to him the next day, and he's safe, and thank God that Wayne is safe. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that mattered.
And that's the main thing as well. Unfortunately for the horse, it suffered a fatal injury, but very important because it didn't look good for Wayne, did it?
No, it didn't. And listen, it's terrible for San Antonio, is right. And when things go wrong in any sport, after going 75% of the way, when the pressure's really coming on, that's when devastating stuff can happen, and it does happen. And but thank God Wayne is okay. And like you say, it's terrible on San Antonio, and we're so sorry for everyone, the lads who looked after him and rode him and done everything with him. But the main thing is Wayne is okay.
And Aidan, obviously a beautiful bred individual, Auguste Rodin, very important as well, being by Deep Impact, out of a Galileo, multiple Group 1 winner, of course, rhododendron as well.
Yeah, no, sure, he's the most incredible horse. Physique and use of himself, he's out of a great mare. And then John and the lads and everyone sent her to Japan for Deep Impact, which was a very, very, very strong move at that time. And the way it happened, he was one of the last foals of that crop. I think there was under 20 foals born that year, and Deep Impact, that's when he passed away, you know. So he's such an important horse. He has everything. He has movement, temperament. To be after winning two classics now, and a Group 1 winner at 2, he's just incredibly exciting horse, and he brings the two continents together. The best stallion ever in Japan, and the dam is out by the best stallion ever we saw in this part of the world, and she was a top mare herself. So how important he is for the breed is going to be incalculable, really.
And obviously Aidan 3, that's his third Group 1, obviously 2 derbies, over 1.5 miles. He also won the Vert of Maturity, importantly over 1 mile last year as a 2-year-old. Where next with him? King George, Irish Champions Eggs, or could the Judgment be a factor as well?
Yeah, I think all those races are factors. Like there's the lads will decide themselves, but there's a strong chance he could go to a King George, and then he could have a little rest, and then he could come back to a Leopardstown Champion, or he could go to a Judgment, you know. So listen, the next 2 runs are going to be really something to look forward to, we think.
And could the Arc be on the agenda as well?
I think so, but I don't think you would want to give him too hard a time on heavy ground, which you could get in the Arc. But if the ground was lovely, it would be really something to look forward to. But I think he's too beautiful a mover, and he's too important a horse to expose him to too much hardship. Listen, it's really to give him his next few runs in and look after him, really.
And obviously we saw in the Guineas as well, he never went that day. The ground was atrocious, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, in the Guineas, there were so many factors went against him in the Guineas. He jumped out, and Little Big Bear ran into him, and then he got caught in a pocket, and then the ground was soft, and then they went no pace. Listen, it was just a mess all the way. His travel arrangements got messed up the day before. Absolutely nothing worked, and it just wasn't meant to be, and that's what we did accept it. We put a line through it. But the great thing about the Guineas, Ryan looked after them in the Guineas, which was the great thing. And the minute he came back, he came out of race great. Rachel was delighted with him straight away, and Andrew when we started going again. So and the minute Wayne rode him, he was over the moon with him.
And from more go from last year when he made his debut here as a 2-year-old, you were waxing lyrical about this, how good this horse was.
Yeah, John was on to me about him before he came from Coolmore. About he has a rating system, and from the time he was born, he was rated top all the way, and that's very hard on a horse. And usually when that happens, when a horse is focused on that much, it does not happen, because bad luck usually comes and gets them, or they're disappointing. It's like yourself, when there's so much pressure on you all the time, you usually, everyone crumbles to the pressure eventually, but he didn't. He kept passing all the tests all the way. Even when you start working those horses, when you put them into work when there's nowhere to hide, you often find out and they do disappoint, but he never did. He just kept coming away, he kept standing up to it and just kept taking it, and I suppose that's what just makes him special, really.
Great temperament as well.
Yeah, great temperament, very cool, very easy, and his movement is unbelievable. He's very athletic, but like, he's a magic temperament, really.
Classic Park, your first Classic winner. You've had 99 since then. When she won the Classic under Stephen Crane, the Guineas, wasn't it? Did you ever envisage how it was going to snowball going forward?
No, absolutely not, Kevin. We always took each other. When we went into Ballydial, we said maybe we might last here for 5 years, you know what I mean? So
you got that one wrong.
No, but listen, and that's really, and so listen, everything is just, we just took it year by year, and that's where we are now, and sure, like everything just happened away, and we just so listen, who knows where any day brings any of us and who we meet at any time or what happens. So it's to kind of keep getting through each day and take the next one and forget about the one that's gone by and look forward to the next one.
Well, you don't get many things wrong, very few things wrong. You call that one wrong, you might only get 5 years out of Ballydial.
No, that's it, yeah. But listen, no, because we knew that it was an important job and it was a lot of important, but we were so delighted to be asked to go there by John and Sue originally. It was a dream come true for us, really.
And Aidan, there's going to be many more Classic winners going forward. There's some achievements. Well done, your 15th duty-free Irish Derby winner, and most importantly, your 100th European Classic winner. Some achievement, and there's a lot more to come. Well done.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Thanks very much.
Well done.
Next race was the 4